In order to set up Advantage Reporting database, first I have to start with rig initialization application. Once application is open, I have to create a rig name, specify the type of the rig, and to specify the contractor. So let's say in this case, this is our rig name. This is a land rig, and when you're working with this contractor, so you have a drop-down menu here, and if your contractor is in a list, you can just select it. Otherwise, you just type it manually here. Press with the left button of your mouse somewhere else, and this window will pop up, asking if you'd like to add a new name to the list. So now it's on the list and it's saved to database. Also, you have to specify your pump equipment here, and you go to your mud pump, you fill all the cells with actual data, which can be provided either with a client representative or a tool pusher, or they can be provided in advance by a drilling engineer. Anyway, so the information should be actual from your equipment you're working with. And once all cells are filled in, so you can now just copy to clipboard and paste as many times as required. So let's say in my case I have 3 mud pumps, and the only difference between them will be number. So once my rig name, my type, contractor, and pump details were specified, I also would like to save it to database. So now I have this rig available in my list of rigs, and I can set up my client and my field. So this is the navigator, and this is exactly where I have to specify the client I'm working with, the field, the facility, and the well, and the job number. So let's say in this case we are working in Kazakhstan. And under Kazakhstan we can see this number of areas already created. We are going to work in Western Kazakhstan, and here in Western Kazakhstan we are going to create a new field. So the new field name will be Salam field. Save it to database. So now I'd like also to create an operator or a client. So my client will be KMG. And again, if your client is already listed here, so you just select it from the list and press OK button. So now, under my field, I want to create new facility. So in this new facility setup, I would like to specify the name of facility, and I'm going to link it with a client. So now from the list I select my KMG client. So that's exactly how the field and the client will be linked together. Save it to database. So also I need to specify my slot setting. So I know that this is my land rig, so I'm going to drill from the land, and the most important thing here is to add datum. So now when I hit add datum button here, so I can now select the rig from the list. So the rig that I've recently created is exactly this one. So I select it from the list. It should be valid from the date which starts before the date that you start the job. So it could be whatever date, but it must be before the job start date. Let's say it was 1 year ago, or it was one month ago, or it was 1 day ago. Anyway, it should be before. Valid 2, leave it blank for now, because we are not sure when rig will be moved from this slot, because we haven't started drilling yet. So now I'm gonna save and close. As you can see in my navigator, I don't have anything below KMG. This is just a bug and advantage, so what I want to do is just to close it and to open it again. So now you can see that under my KMG I have Salam field with Eagle facility, and I'm ready to resume. So now I can just resume working under KMG operator, and under facility here I would like to create a new well. So I don't have slots to choose from because this is a land well. I would like just to specify the number of a well. If it's applicable, you can specify API number and spot date. So let's say spot date will be 21st of February. And again, if necessary, you can specify the class of the well, production type, the shape, and the purpose. Once well was created, new job appears. So here in the database, now you can see new job. When you open a new job, you have to specify job number. Any additional information about the contract mode, about the currency and services you're going to provide. But what's most important here is when job starts and when you'd like to have your first report. So let's say we're going to start the job on 23rd of February, and our first report we are going to create at midnight of 24th. So now everything is set up, and I would like to save, apply changes, and as you can see, my active job by default is the one that I have just created. And I can close the navigator. Another thing you want to check is that at the top of rig initialization application, you see the job number that is of your interest. Now rig initialization can be closed, and you can proceed with Drillstring application. So here in a Drillstring application, you have to build your BHA. It can be done either manually, or BHA can be just copied from the engineering case or from the previously drilled well. So in this case, if I would like to copy my Drillstring, I need to go to File and Copy. But as you can see, my database is completely empty, and I cannot select anything from actuals from my previous job, and I cannot select anything from engineering. So I don't have any BHA in my database right now. So this is not an option. In order to build the BHA manually, so there is a list of component type, and just selecting the component with a mouse and adding them to the main tab will build up a BHA. So just for example, we will build a simple motor BHA. So we have built beat, motor, and a navi track, and you can see this number of yellow cells which require some information to be entered, and the number of these required cells depends on the Drillstring entry purpose. If I limit it to engineering only, or to let's say reporting only, so you see the number of cells will be changing. And of course, it's always a good idea to use a catalog whenever you try to fill these cells here. Let's say for Baker Hughes motors, we have a good catalog where you can just select the motor and all these numbers will be filled in. Let's also have a look at how we can copy BHA from the engineering case. So in order to do this, I for now just close Drillstring, and I'd like to open the engineering application. I'm opening engineering application just to upload the case that the well planner sent me. That will allow me to copy the drill string from the engineering. When engineering application was opened, I want to go to File and Import Export Delete option. Here I want to import engineering case. Now this import window was opened, and what I have to do is to navigate to my export file. I already placed it onto the desktop, so now I just want to browse to the desktop. So this is my case, and I now hit the XML import button, and the case has been imported. So now I no longer need engineering case at all, because the purpose of opening engineering was just to download the case. So I can easily close it and resume with my Drillstring application. Now I'd like to copy Drillstring. I don't want to save any changes, and I still cannot see Drillstring from engineering. That's weird. Maybe I need to close and open it again. My Drillstring application opened. As you can see here, this is my active well, this is my active job, so everything is configured properly. What I want to do is to copy my Drillstring from engineering. And now I have this option here. I have this field, facility, case name, and the well name from the case that well planner sent to me. And this is the only BHA in my database. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Just in case if you have number of BHA here, so you'd like to pay better attention to which exactly you're choosing. You have this number of filters here. You can sort it by owner or by well name and make a right choice. Now my BHA was imported, and it still needs a little bit of modifications. Say I still want to put some serial numbers here. Maybe I'd like to adjust some nominal and actual weights according to my real data at the rig side. But at least I don't need to put all these tools and dimensions manually. Yeah, so you see I still miss serial numbers, I still miss model and serial numbers, but again, it's manageable. So now when my BHA is here, I would like to specify some numbers regarding the BHA run number, the AutoTrack run number, MWD, and just give a short BHA description. Like in this case, this is the first run for AutoTrack, there is no motor in the BHA, first run for MWD, no rerun, BT is brand new, and BHA to drill and land 8.5-inch section. Assembly type is drilling assembly. Now I would like to save it to database. Just a small notification here that pickup type is null. That means that you haven't specified your pickup time yet. And what I want to do is just go to run summary. So here, once I picked up my BHA, I add some numbers here. What was my pickup date? What time I start drilling? Depth in, depth out. But actually, all these cells, they will be updated once you started drilling and once you started populating your parameters here in a parameters tab. So here you have to put only numbers or only parameters while circulating. There is no need to track your tripping activities, picking up BHA, so only while circulating. For example, shallow testing, for example, wash and ream, drilling cement, drilling formation, circulating of bottom, or whatever else. So this is assembly type, and depending on assembly type, so now different modes for operations will be available. Let's say if I change my auto track to motor, so as you can see, number of modes was reduced and the layout was changed as well. But anyway, I'm working with an auto track here, and the view here can be also changed with a right click view. So I can move these items here, or I can even remove them to available columns if I don't want them to be displayed at the parameters chart. So now I start to fill these cells here. So all circulation activities need accurate tracking. So for example, maybe I picked up my BHA just recently at 1 p.m. today, and at 1:20 I had my circulation, which was at the depth of 70 meters, and I'd like to adjust my units as well, without any surface rotation, without any torque. Circulation rate was 35 liters per minute, and the pressure was maybe 40 bars with mild weight of 1.1, and it was my surface test, which was successful. So I did the test maybe for 15 minutes and then run a hole. So depending on the mode you're selecting here, some of these cells will be grayed out, some of these cells will be available. If you want to add another line, you just click on the line and select insert below. Let's say in this case, maybe you will be downlinking or drilling cement, or you will be drilling in ribs off or steer mode, or you're going to wash and ream. All these description is mentioned here. And you have also good option here as show totals. So if you selected this one, you'll always see what is accumulated distance drill in a hold mode, what's accumulated circulation hours, off bottom circulation hours, and etc. Normally, comments tab, bid performance tab, and the run summary will be filled after the run when we reach TD, in order to complete reports such as BHA performance report, bid report, and auto track parameter report. So now let's have a look at the daily drilling report. So this is DDR report template, and again my well is active, my job number is active, so everything seems good. Once your parameters are filled in properly, so you can hit update button, and all the numbers from a Drillstring application will be copied here automatically. So whatever is not copied, you have to put manually. Here we have this 24-hour summary, 24 hours look ahead. Here you specify your well construction, so what casing or liner you have, what is expected section TD, hole size, and this is just for your convenience. If you think that everything is completed, you can tick the box, and now you know that this tab is completed. So the fluids, again, you have to select your company name, fluid type, and fluid name. Here we have drop-down menus available, and again, if you cannot find fluid service provider in the list, you go to edit, and here we have reference data editor. So let's say for a fluid company, we want to add some local fluid company, and we have this right click, insert below. That will be local drilling mud company, for example. So the same you can do with a fluid name, with a fluid type, and with any of these drop-down menus available here, right? Later you can find it in the list. So this is my fluid type, my fluid name. So these fluid parameters should be entered manually. These are calculated data. If you want to use fan data, you tick this box, and now you put this fan data here, and then your PV, your YP will be calculated automatically. So this is the maximum reading from MWD, and here by specifying stroke per minute, efficiency, and liner size, your volume per stroke and circulation rate will be calculated. And again, if you feel that everything is filled in properly, so you tick completed and fluids are okay. Just in case if geology is required on a DDR, you can consult with a rigside geologist and put some tops and formation types here. And for comments, just to briefly describe the steering activities and some comments on the BHA behavior or any drilling related issues or anything else you want to mention. So you just put it here. Here you have your day crew, so just specify who is in charge of directional drilling and MWD job. And the company representative can be added here as well. Right? So this box is also completed. Now I'd like to add some activities. When I go to activities here, I have this AIDC template. So let's say before 13 hours, we were maybe picking up the BHA. Yes, it's a long period of time for sure, but just for example, let's put picking up BHA. Then we programmed downloaded MWD, LWD, maybe for 15 minutes. Or actually 45. and then we run a hole, maybe until 19 hours. From 70 meters to, let's say, 3000 meters. And then maybe we start drilling. So if any comments required, you can put it here. Save and close. So now I can save this directional drilling report to database, and the report itself can be generated. And the report itself can be generated. Now I can print it to PDF and submit to the office and the customer. So now this application can be closed. Actually, we need it only once per day when we create daily drilling report. But constant tracking of our activities, it needs to be done in this Drillstring application. So I track all my activities here, and this is how I actually keep tracking on circulation hours, on my drilling progress, and it's exactly the application when I create the bit performance report and the BHA performance report. So if I need to create a report of graphical string or string report, it's already here, it's already saved to database, so I can just hit the button and this is a report. But normally they would like to have string report which looks like this, like in table format. So when drilling is over, you'd like to create a BHA performance and a bit performance report. So you'd like to update from parameters all these cells. Whatever is not updated has to be filled manually. So these numbers, they are well known. They are coming from your surveys, they're coming from your mod report, they're coming from your inventory, and depth-in, TVD-in, they're coming from your surveys as well. So once everything was updated, you can now create a BHA performance report. So this is BHA performance report. Yes, we still miss laydown date. There is no start and stop drilling, only because we don't have that much parameters here. So if we had more data here with drilling formation in different modes, of course our report would be more informative, but this is only an example of how it looks like. And again, this objective, performance observation, conclusions and recommendation for the next BHA should be mentioned. And when it comes to bit performance, again, some numbers I can update from parameters. Whatever was not updated, so I have to put it manually. And this is a bit grade in and bit grade out. And if you use brand new bit, so there is no beat grayed in. You just leave it blank. But once it was in the work, even for a while, now it has beat gray out. So even it is a brand new beat and you barely see any damages, you still have to grade it. And either you do it by yourself, or this code will be provided by a beat runner. So you specify who graded the beat and you put the code here. Average flow, average tamper pressure, and average HSI, you put these numbers as they are, so you don't have to create them from your head. And again, the beat report can be calculated and downloaded from this option here. So just one small remark, sometimes on a DDR they will request your survey, and it's not the general practice that a survey update must be on each DDR, because anyway direction driller will send a survey report along with DDR. But if it is the case, so you have to use the force application, which is called survey. So in this survey application, you just copy your surveys to the survey station tab, and the last survey of the day will be updated, will be uploaded with your DDR. You can just copy and paste it from the clipboard, from your well architect. Let's say so this is actual well pass, and normally while drilling, DD has these well pass points and the actual well pass editor opened. So what you can do is just highlight all the surveys, go to edit button here, copy MD inclination and azimuth to the clipboard, and now go back to your survey application. Here, right click, clipboard, paste. Place so. Yes, so now we have all our TVD, local coordinates being calculated. And now the last survey will appear on a DDR. And again, this is not common requirement, but if it is required, so now you know how to do that. Don't forget to save all your applications, save frequently. And good luck.